What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video, and this one is slightly different. I am just here, you're seeing this beautiful face, to introduce today's video. As you'll be aware by now, I have set up the Average Dad 2 channel, and this channel, while I will produce content on there, it's for the tech community. Followers, subscribers, friends of mine with their own channels, or maybe they don't have a channel and want to try something out on YouTube. This is the channel for them. Well, today's video is from Anakin. Anakin has his own YouTube channel based on Beyblades. Kinda over my head, but the things look cool as hell, so give his channel a check. But then also watch this video in full, because he unboxes his brand new $2,400 Z Fold 7, gives you a first impression, little look around the device, and then proceeds to try and break it. Yeah, Anakin, I salute you. Even me, with all my phones and experience and access to devices, have yet to delve into the durability testing realm of YouTube. So fair play to you. And I'm posting this on the main channel because it deserves all the attention, the reach it can possibly get. Because not only is he giving the phone a durability test, the actual video he's produced, his style, his way of speaking and interacting and engaging with the audience, absolutely fantastic. So this will not be the last you see from Anakin on the main Average Dad channel. But if you want to see a lot more of him, please subscribe to the Average Dad 2 channel. And without further ado, enjoy this content.
To Average Dad 2 with your boy Anakin, and in today's video we are doing a durability test and review on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. Alright, I'm sure you guys have seen what the box looks like. Here's these little pull tabs. Whoo! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yo, that color looks pretty good. Actually, I agree with Average Dad about that. That color looks really nice in person. In video, you can't actually pick up the purple it has. It looks really cool though. And yeah, man, that thing is, it's really thin. Oh my gosh. It's thinner. I mean, yeah, it is technically thinner than the Oppo Find N5, but you can see it. So yeah, look at that camera bump. Those cameras must be good, right? You get a 200 megapixel main sensor, which is great, right? That's great. But then you get a 12 megapixel ultra wide and a 10 megapixel telephoto at 3x optical. So I know megapixels isn't everything, but you know, we'll see, because I'm bringing this phone to a Creed concert here in just a few hours. So we're gonna do some good camera tests there. Okay, there's your SIM ejection tool and of course the charger wire with some paperwork. Samsung is charging you guys $2,000 in the US for this thing. All right, let's peel these off. All right, and now let's peel that one off. Okay, there's your first look at that crease when it hasn't been folded yet. Looks pretty good actually. So, microphone, Type-C, speaker, another microphone, nothing on that side. There's your other speaker. There's your SIM card tray, there's another microphone, and another microphone? Along with another microphone right there. There's your flash, here's your cameras, and I assume the plastic spacer in between right there is something like an antenna. And then there's your volume rockers, power button, and yeah, all right. Let's turn this thing on and see what it does. Okay. Nice colors. I like the colors. Okay, one thing I've already noticed about this phone, that fingerprint scanner is really flush to the phone itself. So it makes it kind of hard to find. Like if you're just walking and you're like trying to find the power button, you'll get used to it over a certain amount of time, sure. But it's a little too flush for me. I like it sticking out of the phone a little bit, like the volume rocker right next to it is. And it might be so you don't confuse them because they're both on the same side, but I don't know, it's just my thing. Also, let's see how fast that fingerprint scanner is. Huh. Yeah, that's about as fast as it gets. Pretty nice. Okay, so yeah, here is One UI 8, and what does that entail? Man, that means smooth animations I've noticed so far. Look at this. Pretty smooth animations when you go into an app. Let's go into like settings. Boom. Pretty smooth animations in my opinion. You can see my interests here. Here's the Google Play Store. Nice and clean looking. I like Android 16 so far. And man, that crease so far, you know, it looks great, but I haven't folded it yet. So let's see. Let's see what happens. This is the first fold. And that, hey, I'm gonna be honest here. That hinge is actually really nice. I like that. And dang, very thin when it's folded. And that, I will give them props. They made it nice and thin while maintaining the same battery size as the Z Fold 6, which is cool and all, but you know what they could have done with silicon carbon. We all know that, okay? We all know that. 4,400 milliamp hours. It's not the best, guys, especially with 25-watt charging. Come on, that should be improved, but you know, it hasn't been improved for years. And then of course, it's got 15-watt wireless charging. Like, come on, this is like 10-year-old charging speeds. Yeah, that thing sounds pretty nice. You know, let's do it again. That was a really hard one. That's about as hard as you should ever do it, and still intact. Okay, man, how is that crease after folding it a few times? Man, let's see. Yeah, not too bad. And it'll get worse. It'll get about 2 weeks at its worst, but looking good so far. So one thing I did notice is the screen is a little down. You can see that, right? The screen and you got the metal bezels around actually lifted. That might be something for protection. You can see how the metal is coming up. It's a little raised on the edges, so the screen is kind of protected maybe? Now, One UI 8 is possibly the best Android skin in the world right now, and I've heard a lot of good things about it from Average Dad. Now, we finally get a decently thin foldable phone from Samsung with potentially the best operating system. All right, it's time to see if I'm gonna break this thing or not. They're charging $2,000 for basically less of a phone than last year. I know it's not the hardest surface. You know, I feel like it's pretty durable. And I like that. You can just really manhandle this thing. Now, they do have aluminum edges, and that hinge is also aluminum. So let's see what it does when I give it a little bend here. Okay. That is probably as much as I want to do. I feel like that was pretty strong. Not too bad. Of course, it is a super thin phone, so what can you expect, right? But I feel like if they made it out of titanium, you would have seen less flex there. But instead, yeah, it's made out of aluminum. But yeah, so that's the little bit of flex I'll give it. This is probably the hardest foldable phone I've ever had to open, just because, you know, they could have beveled the edges a little more to give you something, but instead you gotta pry it open pretty hard. So what about this display? This is a 120 Hertz AMOLED display that gets up to 2,600 nits of peak brightness. So what about the durability of the inner display? Well, I've thought of the best way to test that with Beyblades. Very customizable. You can change all these parts out and make your own combination. It's pretty cool, and if you want to see more about that, you should go check out my channel at anakin.b. The link will be in the description. Now, basically, these things are made of metal and plastic, and this is the launcher. If you pull the string, you know, it launches them. Well, let's see what this does to the screen on this phone. Okay, so we are going to start off with Wizard Rod. This Beyblade has a ball-shaped tip. It shouldn't do that much damage, you wouldn't think, right? And if it doesn't, we'll move up to Leon Crest with a sharper tip. So yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. Okay, Wizard Rod with the ball tip. It shouldn't do that much damage, right? We're going to launch from about this high, and we can go higher after that. All right, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it got off immediately, but that was because this is the wobbliest phone in the world. Let's see if there was any damage. Hey, it looks pretty good. Okay, now we're gonna launch from a higher place up here. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was a hard hit. That was definitely a hard hit. Did it do anything? Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure I do see something. Yeah, look. Right there. It's kind of hard to notice, but it did damage the screen protector. Now, what about the screen itself? Well, the screen is fully intact, and yeah, okay, cool. Let's move up to a more pointed Beyblade tip. This is Leon Crest. This isn't gonna end that good. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. That was such a hard hit. No way. So you can see the scratches that it just put on that screen protector right there, but any permanent indentions I'm not seeing. We know it survived the Beyblades, but what about what's on you all day, every day? And by on you, I mean literally attached to you. Fingernails. What would your fingernail do to a display like this? Let's just see. I'm gonna go ahead and push my fingernail into the display and we're gonna see if I damage it in any way. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna do a short line like that. And yeah, it did do some damage. Some permanent damage. Yeah. Nothing crazy, but just to show it's definitely possible to permanently damage your display, literally by your fingernail. But I will say that was a lot harder to push than the older Z Folds, so maybe they've improved. I just want to see this back glass. Can it be permanently scratched by a Beyblade? I'm just going to do one line. Ooh. Looking good. Okay. All right, so there's our mark. Does that wipe away? Almost. It almost wipes away. So let's see if we can get this. If not, it looks like a Beyblade can permanently damage all sides of this phone, really. And yeah, looks like that is a permanent scratch. Now, what about this side? I'm sure, well, it actually feels like it's making a mark. No. Actually, it looks fine. Be careful. Don't put your Beyblades near your Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7s. With, of course, a vegan leather option, you wouldn't really have that issue, or would you? I'm not trying it on this one. So if you get this phone, you're definitely going to be opening and closing this thing. So how fast and hard can you close this phone? All right, that was pretty hard. That was pretty hard. Sounded good, but pretty hard. What about that? Yeah, it's holding up pretty good. Nice. And yeah, everything still works. Nice. Now, they say it's waterproof. I have water in this Beyblade Stadium. Let's see if it's really waterproof. Yeah, I've never done this to a foldable phone yet. Let's do a little flex there to bend that phone and get some water in there. Dang! No glitches yet. What about this side? Oh, the blue looks so good with the water going over it. Yeah, man. Oh, it's in the maps. We're looking at Washington, apparently. Yeah, works pretty good. And it works good with water on the screen. That's pretty different. Yeah, nice. I guess it withstands water. Man, look how thin the Z Fold 7 is. And of course it'll be thinner than the Trifold because the Trifold adds a whole nother layer on top. But still, man, that is super thin, and I guess you can see it right there. Not a big difference, but it's definitely thinner. So how good are these cameras? Let's take it to the Creed concert and compare it with my daily phone, which is the Huawei Mate XT. This Huawei Mate XT has a 12 megapixel 5.5x periscope zoom lens with another 12 megapixel ultra wide, and of course your 50 megapixel main shooter. So there's the specs. Let's see how they stack up at the Creed concert. Overall, the audio and the HDR was better on the Z Fold 7. However, the sharpness, quality, and clarity of the Mate XT's video is better. So you tell me what you think about that in the comments. But dude, that concert was fun, man. I really had a good time. Anyway, here's a 1x shot. Here is a 3x shot. And here is a 30x shot, zoomed all the way in. So with all the camera stuff out of the way, I did want to point out another thing I noticed with this phone here. It's very sharp. The corners are very sharp. When I was bringing this out to the Creed concert, I really noticed that thing was pushing in my hand, like not really good. And if you want to switch it, it's possibly even sharper on that other side there. So you know, Samsung likes their boxy looking design. It looks cool. If you can learn to get over it, you'll probably still like the phone. And upon further inspection, I did want to point out some flaw I see here. The bezel on the top side is further away from the hinge than the bezel on the bottom side. Can you see that? Hey, it's nothing crazy. But that could have been placed better, I guess, for $2,400, which is what I paid. Shout out to Average Dad himself. I appreciate the opportunity to come on and do some more videos for him. So, hey, if you guys liked the video, make sure you like the video. And if you want, go ahead and subscribe to my channel at anakin.b. That's where I do a lot of this. And it's pretty funny. But, hey, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.